Hey guys, I'm Jennifer Valdez. Welcome to From Gen to Generations. We're here with Miss Lori Balue from Aging Adventurously. How are you doing, Lori?
Oh my gosh, I feel so good. I just love having energy, and when I eat right for my body, I just love how I feel. It just more and more every year, I just have more energy, and it's building more and more confidence, and I just feel amazing.
Oh my gosh, so let's dive so deep into that.
Yeah.
You ready, guys? Here we go.
You know what? As a businesswoman, you just learn to roll with the punches, and sometimes, you feel a little frustrated. I feel excited in the morning, then I get on a call with a client, and either it goes good or it's just like, okay, I need to support her, and my energy comes out of me, goes into her, and then feeling more drained. But there's things we can do to pick ourselves back up and always just be positive and go forward with everything we're doing, because, we're doing this. We know it's a lifestyle and it's business.
That's right. I love that answer.
I just,
Thank you.
I love the fact that we can create our business around our lifestyle, and then be strong in that because it's coming from you. It's your passion. It's what guides you to do a business in the first place.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a great response. Yeah. What inspired you to pursue this field?
I kind of fell into it accidentally. I needed to heal my body. And I got excited about studying everything. And as I was looking for my weight loss solution, I was looking for an asthma solution. I didn't know all the problems I had. I just know I didn't feel good in my body. And so I started studying ancestral nutrition, studying why we get fat, and how to heal the body by basically looking for the weight loss solution. Because that's what we're focused on as women, we want weight loss. And so, But why are we overweight, and why can't we keep the weight off? And so I was learning about why we get fat and what to do about it. And so I studied ancestral nutrition and started getting into a paleo lifestyle. I started taking out the wheat. I read the Wheat Belly book, and this doctor, the Wheat Belly doctor's name is William Davis. And it's a really good book, because you'll never go back to the breadbasket at the restaurant once you've read this, because it's so insidious as what it could do to our body. And if you're looking for your health solution, why would you eat something that doesn't go with the vision you want to have? And so I look at food as information to my body, and as I started to get healthier, I actually ended up segueing into a keto low-carb diet, and then dropped 20 pounds, my brain turned back on, and I got more excited about life.
Oh, wow.
And so with that excitement, that brain energy, I was like, oh, everybody needs to do this. Everybody needs to understand how this works. I couldn't understand why people around me wouldn't just want to do it.
Right.
I'd get so excited. I'm like, oh, you all got to do this. This is great. But it's just like, the naysayers out there are like, oh, you're going to die if you do this. I'm like, I'm not dying. I'm healthier now than I was before.
Yeah, but that's where the passion ensued to pursue this, was you were like, I got to tell everybody about this.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. I know you and I have had our conversations, and I have followed the plan, and I've lost 10 pounds myself. So definitely
you've lost more than that already.
That's
because
true.
You're changing a lifestyle, not on a diet. So this is permanent weight loss. When you actually go into finding your weight loss and solution, it becomes a disease solution. So you don't ever have to have diabetes, Alzheimer's, any of that can all go away, because you're practicing epigenetics and just getting healthy. And so that's why I call it a weight loss and diabetes solution, because it is the solution to reducing your health risk. And as you reduce your health risk, you get healthier to lose the weight naturally. And it's just something I'm so passionate about. And so I just fell into it, and naturally fell into it, and didn't even have a plan. I just started getting excited. I was researching Chris Kresser and following him, and he started his very first health coaching program, the Adapt Functional Health Coaching Program, and I'm like, I just got to do this. I got to get into it. And so I did. I did the first cohort, and it spent a year just crying and growing and changing and just becoming who I needed to be, because I was so repressed from being repressed, and not living my true passion, not having a passion, because I was depressed from eating foods I was sensitive to, that there was a lot of changing that needed to happen. And so I just remember crying a lot. It was just awful.
Right. Oh my
but
gosh.
Looking back at it, I'm like, wow, that was some change that I needed to go through, because our nervous systems have to change. We actually have to reestablish a new nervous system to go through life-changing processes like this. And so that's why people have such a hard time with changing their diet. This is a nervous system regulation that you've got to do. And so you are going to go through a process to get stronger. But as you get stronger, the whole world opens up. There's a new window to step through and more doors to open. And you know, there's no limit to what we can do when we get to that point where we can see through the windows and doors and choose to go through them.
Wow.
So it's really cool.
That is inspiring.
Yeah.
How do you deal with stress that comes with being a woman and providing a home for yourself and your loved ones?
I focus on me. I invest in me. I get my supplements. I run my own test labs. I buy organic products for my body. And I invest in my body as a health hobby. I don't go to the medical system. I take care of myself at home. And I think that's been the biggest thing to really get me to be healthier and to have less stress. So when I do that, I just become more confident in the fact that every time I spend money on myself, I get to another layer of confidence that this is worth it. I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life. And if I have moments where I just, you know, completely down in the dumps and I'm just stressed or worried about something, I just take off my feet and go outside and ground and get sunlight on my skin, and it seems to work almost every single time.
I do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm really base bottom at the down and I'm like, oh my God, okay, something's going on, I'm worrying too much about this or that, I just go to the nature center, take off my feet, put on my sports bra, I've got my skin out, the sun's shining, my glasses are on top of my head, and I'm walking barefoot. People are looking at me pretty funny, but I'm like, oh, sorry, this is how it works. So you want to be healthy, you just got to get that sunlight on your skin. You need to take those sunglasses off your face, and you need to put your feet on the earth. And it was really interesting. I've been doing this for years. This was like 20 pounds of weight loss. 20 pounds of weight loss to reduce the stress in my body and to manage this with circadian balance. But I recently heard a doctor either tweeted or posted something about, I always know the people who don't have their feet on the earth because they're sick, they have MS, they have autoimmunity problems, they have disease in their body, and they don't ever take their shoes off and they don't put their feet on the earth. He says, I always know it.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, that is so powerful.
That is absolutely powerful.
So, I mean, it's not just diet alone. You could do the diet. I mean, you could have done the diet by yourself, but what are the little itty bitty things and all the foundational processes that we need to do to support the whole body? Because like, what are the hidden healing opportunities? And you can do the diet right, but if your digestion is off and you have low stomach acid, and nothing's going to happen.
Right.
Because you won't have any neurotransmitters. And then when we're depressed, what happens? When hormones aren't working and our thyroid's not working and the hormones aren't working, we're like, give me the food. I got to eat. You know, and so it's hard.
That's true. So what do you consider your greatest strengths?
I used to think that I didn't have any, but I had to grow into that.
Okay.
That's where the confidence came in. But you know what? I never quit. I have been looking for my health solution since I was a kid. Like,
really?
Why am I overweight when other people aren't? Why do I not feel good? And what can I do about that? And you know, it comes down to, I was a reader. My mom taught me how to read. She learned to look up everything from books to find out how to support her health and her kids, because we're all born with the, you know, processed food era. And I think my biggest strength comes from just knowing that if I keep trying and keep doing this, I will find my solution. So I never quit.
Okay. Would you say that also inspires you to find the solution?
I think so.
But I think you have found the solution.
Well, I'm still, you know, we're not perfect human bodies.
That's true.
And so there's always an ongoing challenge. Like, how do we manage, you know, our dopamine all the time? You know, our serotonin levels, our hormone levels when we're 60, when we're over 50. You know, all of those things are things that we could do as a health hobby to correct ongoing, and just continuing that process. I have found my weight loss and diabetes solution. I'm not sick at 62. I have no medications because I did find that solution. But I mean, I don't have, I could probably lose 10 more pounds, but I have to figure out that solution. You know, like, that's the hormone and the stress. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just the hormonal and the stress. And being a single woman, you know, managing a household, and there are certain things that are priorities that I know intuitively when I wake up in the morning that I need to focus on for myself to stay healthy. And so that means I have to sacrifice dieting. I'm not going to diet if I need to have my hormones functioning and I need to feel good in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I don't, like today I naturally fasted because we were active, we were playing tennis.
Yes.
And I had your tennis session and I was all excited. I was in ketosis. I went to the store. I didn't eat. I wasn't focused on any food. Those are great days when you get that ketone energy going, because that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't feel like eating. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got a client at this time. I need to eat now.
Mm-hmm.
And so my window for eating was 1 o'clock.
Oh boy.
And so that was my meal of the day, and I had a coffee with it, and then a couple of keto cookies, and I'm done for the day. So that's all the food I needed. So, but then on days like that, you could fast more easily, and that's kind of like a weight loss lifestyle is kind of what I'm calling it, but that's creating your health adventure lifestyle. And when you kind of clue into your body and how you feel, you just go with how you feel. If you feel more tired, you might need to eat more one day and you eat less the next day. And so as you get into this, it kind of becomes more smooth and easy to manage.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that the other day. It's almost like you're getting to know your body. You need to learn what your body needs and how you need to operate.
Right,
Like
and that's exactly what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
When people come to you, you do a blood panel, you find out exactly what is happening inside of their individual personal body, and then with that information, you're able to make a designed meal plan for them. And like, you have a cooking book, actually, as I recall.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I actually read through the cooking book. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. It is my recipe book, and it's the recipes I use that helped me lose that 100 pounds of weight loss. And it was the beginning recipes. I did not lose weight fast because I didn't know all of my hidden healing opportunities. I didn't know how to manage my hormones, and I had to grow into myself. I had to get out of being repressed and depressed and anxious, and I needed to just keep growing. But I needed to make my brain turn on. I needed to support hormones. I needed to support gut health, digestion. All of that was happening in the background, and you just don't know it. So I lost 20 pounds and then nothing for 3 years.
Oh.
Because all of that internal things had to happen.
Right.
And so as I was going through all of that, that's when I started to lose more weight. But what I do now is I collapse the time it takes for people to do that by actually finding the food sensitivities, because that's what kept me repressed and depressed, was having food sensitivities, that I was eating food that messed my brain up, that caused leaky gut, so I couldn't function. And so once I got onto a low-carb keto diet, that saved my life because it gave me my brain back.
Right.
And I was able to focus, and that's what gave me the kind of the push into starting this business, was just kind of falling into it by studying nutrition. Because once I started the Adapt Functional Health Coaching Program, I didn't think I finished that story, but I finished that. It took me a whole year of growth, and I did it. And then I'm like, well, I could help more people if I do this. So then I started functional diagnostic nutrition and became a practitioner. And then all of a sudden, somebody I graduated with says, oh, I'm doing websites. Who wants a website? I'm like, I'll do it. So $500 there, and I had a website, and I'm like, well, this is cool. So I'm like, I guess I have a business. You know, I never planned it. It's just my passion keeps throwing me forward. And then once I learned how to use the labs, I've just been steadily creating my weight loss and diabetes solution. And then just this past year, I just named it. It's the Holistic Low Carb Method. And it's just something that I'm just super proud of and excited.
And you should be.
And I never planned any of it. It's just like, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. Let's just go to the next thing, you know?
As soon
let's
as
do
you
this.
started to trust yourself and find your confidence,
You know what?
the universe
That
started to align.
And I say that all the time. I'm like, okay, universe, what's the next step? What are we going to go, you know, show me what we need to do next.
Yeah.
You know, where's the next woman that wants health? You know, because it is
right here.
Exactly, and that's how it is. You know, I can only help those who are ready to help themselves,
Right.
and just guide you in the right direction. It's kind of like a tour guide. I even call myself a traveling health practitioner, and it's just about getting out in nature and being able to work wherever you are and build your lifestyle around your business. And so that to me
It is an absolute health adventure,
Right.
And it definitely
But
is a
it
complete
keeps me healthy as I do
holistic
it.
approach.
Yeah.
And I love the part where you were talking about nature, because it's like, that is very much a whole holistic approach. It's everything. You have everything. You even have your personal support yourself. You don't just throw these diets at people and books and kind of say, well, here are your labs, here you go. No, when they sign up with you, people get your time, your attention. They actually get scheduled meetings with you, and you are just amazing.
Oh,
Such a
thank
pleasure
you.
to talk to you, and just so supportive. And
Yeah.
it's really just...
Yeah, it's really kind of interesting because, I mean, I often like to say is like, I don't know what you need till you tell me what you need. And as I take my clients where they are and from where they are and where they need to go.
That's awesome.
It's just the texting back and forth and like, do this, and this, and let's get you all figured out. It's so cool. I love it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So